What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have something a little bit different. We're going to take a break from the Evo content and we are going to be doing some Subaru content. Not Subaru content on this guy, but on my wife's Subaru Ascent. So she just needs a basic oil change. It's not anything like crazy, but we can show you the motor. So this right here is the FA24 Subaru motor. First came in this car, which is a 2020 Ascent, but it also does come in the newer WRXs, the VB WRXs. Same motor, same everything. This just makes a little bit less horsepower than the WRXs, but as far as the oil change goes, everything on it should basically be the same. I'm pretty sure there's no difference in anything on this motor. So whatever you can do for this video will also apply to the new VB WRXs as well. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead, grab everything we need for the job, and then we're gonna go through what you do need and then how we're gonna go about doing it. So here is pretty much everything you need. Nothing crazy for an oil change. We do have OW20 oil is what the Subaru Ascent requires, so that's what I use. This guy right here, I actually don't usually run this brand on this car. Usually I do Mobile Ones, just because it's at the store and it's easy to find. I did for some reason buy the wrong oil filter though for this oil change. Luckily I did have this guy for my STI, and it is an exact fit for this car. So I'm going to use that, and then right here we just have some M16 crush washers for the oil plug. You're going to need a funnel to get the oil in once you drain it. Obviously you're going to need, I thought I had it here, you're going to need an oil catch for the oil, 2 chocks for the rear wheels, a jack to get the car up, and then I guess all that we'll need after that would be a 3/4 ratchet with a 17mm socket. I know some of the older plugs on the Ascent specifically had a 14mm plug. Once I rounded that guy out and that didn't work, I went to Subaru, got a new plug, and it became a 17mm. So I don't know if it's like a new part number, but you'll either need a 14 or a 17. But with that, I'm gonna throw it on jacks, throw the chocks behind the wheels, and we can get going. Okay, now that we got the car up in jack stands, got my glasses on because it's super sunny out here, we can go ahead and pull the plug on the oil drain so we can get all the oil out. One thing I did do though is after I got the car on the jack stand, I did go back and just re-kick in the chocks in the back just to make sure the wheels were nice and tight, car's not gonna roll and, you know, crush me. So gonna go ahead, jump onto the car. I will show you the bolt and where it is. Gonna throw my oil container under there and we'll get it out. Okay, so I do have my oil catch going under. Pro tip for anyone who maybe if this is your first oil change, do make sure, one, you have this guy unplugged right here to relieve the pressure going in, and then 2, make sure this hole is towards the back of the car, especially if you're on a hill, kind of like my driveway sort of is. That way when the oil comes in, it's going to go directly down to the holes and go into the container, versus if you had it this way, it's going to fill up a bunch of oil over here first before it can get here and then probably overflow on you. And trust me, you do not want it overflowing. So I'm gonna get this under, we'll get going. Okay, so we are under the car. If you do come back right from the front, which is right there, come all the way back, you're gonna find this cutout right here, and then right over here, this guy is our oil drain plug. So it is a 17mm, so I'm gonna set the camera up, use my 17mm, get this guy cracked open, get the oil drain in. Okay, so we got all the oil out. Now we're just gonna go ahead, take the cleaned up oil drain plug, and we're gonna go ahead and put a new crush washer on it. Again, it is an M16. You can get them at just like any AutoZone or O'Reilly's or anything like that. Gonna get that tightened down. And so for the crush washer, you do just wanna tighten it down until it's nice and snug, and then you just wanna give it like another half turn to a turn, just to crush the washer itself and get a good seal, and then that should be good to go. So let's go down onto the car again, throw that back in. And I just wanna say, even with the actual drain towards the back, I still almost overflowed this thing. So definitely make sure you do take that warning. Now for anyone that doesn't know about crush washers, I don't know if you can see this, there is like a domed piece. There's a flat side and then a domed side. The flat side goes on the bottom, the dome goes on top, which is what's gonna crush. So let's go in, thread it in by hand. Now that it's in by hand, go ahead, snug it down. You can feel the washer crushing. There we go. That should be good. Okay, now that we're back up, not on the ground under the car, we are going to go ahead and remove the old oil filter. It's this guy right here. Like I said, I do usually use mobile ones. Like I said, I don't know why, but I bought the wrong one. So I do have the actual wrench to be able to take this off. It's like a strap. It's made for oil filters, or there's the ones that like clamp. I honestly, if I can't get it off by hand, I usually just use vice grips. This guy does look like I probably can't get it off by hand, so I'm gonna go ahead, use some channel locks, and just take that guy right off. Now, obviously, I won't use these channel locks for when I put the new one on, but for removing the old one, when it's nice and tight after thousands of miles of heat cycles, it certainly does make it a lot easier. Got that off. You can see it's a little dirty, so we're just going to give it a little quick wipe out. Careful to try to not get any debris or anything in the actual housing. Last thing you want is debris going into your motor, but clean oil housing is a happy oil housing. So at this point, what I do like to do is this is always the hardest part for some reason on this motor specifically. This oil cap always gets so tight. Take that guy off. So the car does require 4.8 quarts of oil, which is kind of a weird number. It ends up being 4.5 liters, which is why it is how it is. So I will go ahead and put 4.75 quarts into here, and then for the other 0.05 to bring it up to the 0.8, I will just go ahead and fill the new oil filter housing with oil. That way it's nice and full for startup after the change, and we'll be on our way. Okay, so we got all the 4.75 quarts of oil in. I'm gonna go ahead, replace the cap, tighten it down, but not too much, because obviously it likes to get super tight. Then we're gonna go ahead, fill our new oil filter, rub oil around this seal right here so we get a good seal and get it installed. So really, all it involves is exactly like it sounds, just filling the filter with oil. Once it comes up, that's usually when I'll stop it, because I don't want to like overfill. But with Subarus, obviously, you can kind of never have too much oil. But now that we get that all in there, gonna rub that gasket like I said, come over here and install it. Okay, so now that I have the seal all oiled, this is filled with oil. Normally what I'll do is just throw it on. I throw on a glove, like a grippy type shop glove. Just that way I can have a little bit of extra grip on this thing, because I don't want to use the wrench on it right now to tighten it. But really all you gotta do is tighten it down, and you can pretty much get it pretty good by hand. That should be a just fine seal, and then all we can do now is go ahead, get the car off the jack stand, get it back on the ground, and go through our checklist. Okay, so this is the point of the oil change where with every single car I ever do it on, I always go through a checklist, because one time I did forget to put the plug in, and I started putting oil in. It was going all over my floor, my garage. So I usually have a checklist the whole way through, and then right at the end, I do one last check, just to make sure nothing can go wrong. You certainly wouldn't want to forget to put oil in, try to start the motor. So first thing I do, check under the car, nothing's dripping, that's good. Come over here. A lot of times, if the oil is moving slow, I will pull the dipstick in order to get the oil to flow a little bit better when you're draining. So the dipstick is in, new oil filter's on. I did fill this filter with oil and lube it. This guy right here, I did put the 4.75 quarts in. So at this point, with everything on the ground now, all my stuff cleaned up, we should be able to go ahead and try to start the car now. And so just like that, we have now done the oil change on an FA24 Subaru motor. I hope this content helps some people. I know it's kind of very basic stuff, but as far as channels go, you do see a lot of channels doing like huge big turbo builds, engine swaps, but sometimes you got to remember there are people out there maybe who are just getting into cars and they just want to know how to do an oil change on their car to be the first thing that they do with actually putting their hands on it. So figured I'd make this video. I know it's not too much, but I figured, hey, maybe it'll help someone in the future. But if you are finding value in the content, you do like it, even if you do want to see maybe some Evo content or eventually some SDI content or Golf R content, you know, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Sure would appreciate to have you guys following along. And like I said, if you guys did like the content, I'm really happy I made it for you. Hopefully it's helpful. Make sure you do go ahead, smash that like button. And I guess that's pretty much all I got for this easy little job. And so until the next time, peace out. Keep wrenching, guys.